So it's been a phenomenal month, and I really owe it. Right, I've been doing a lot of data collection and going through, getting more specific with the entries, the exits, like what the criteria really needs to look like for me to pull the trigger, and it's helped me so much with irrational decision making. Like it's helped me so much with FOMO because you start to realize, right? Like a lot of people on the team are seeing really good results, great months, and I riddle you this, dude. Like your results do not correlate with how many trades you take, right? They don't. Your results aren't a product of having a perfect green trade every trade. Like my results, my consistency literally comes from my approach and how I make my decisions. And I mean, this month has been awesome, dude. We've done a lot of new stuff on the Discord where we're gathering data. We're posting the PDFs in the Trading Metrics channel with, bro, 70 literally. So the study I've been doing, the HPT cross Debo with
Yeah.
the moving averages, open print, in month of September, it's win ratio with very specific like guidelines. It was 72%, and literally this month was the exact same. It was the exact
Yeah.
same. It's crazy, bro.
And is this on the 2 minute?
And so it's actually on the 5 minute, but the entries are
Okay.
the criteria's on the 5 minute, but the entries I drop into the 2 4. Right, I got it right here. So I mean, a great example was on Halloween. Right, here's the 5 minute right here. You get the crossover in the moving averages, and then price comes up, tags the critical level, tags the cloud, and then there's your entry right there. There's the green bar that gets ignored. Bam, there's the entry,
Yeah.
and it whips right down to target. And like this has been my go-to. Like when I see this, I have to pull the trigger on it, and it's helped me so much with filtering out bad trades. It's so crazy because month of September there was 18 setups that qualified for this, and then the month of October literally the same amount, 18, 13 wins, 5 losses, and I'm just like, dude, it's so cool, man. Patterns are everywhere. We just need to learn to see them, and and just look for them. And it definitely played a mega role with my week this week.
Yeah. Also, understanding on higher time frames too, especially like on Thursday when we were below, we broke that level so strong, and then Wednesday when we rejected, I think Tuesday's highs. It was just, you know, another thing. I went back and looked at my journal from the last month, and I never really remembered. Like, I mean, how I posted the 5 things that I changed this month
Yeah.
in the Discord. I never really thought about closing my losses before they were as big as my winners. Like, it never crossed my mind as I was closing out of them. Maybe that's just because it's subconscious, but I only noticed that when I went back and looked, and I was like, oh, that's why I did so good. Like, every single one of my losses is smaller than my smallest win. And so that was one of the biggest things for me. And also, taking less trades.
Yeah. Well, that's big though, bro. Think about it, right? Like, no, for a while I didn't look at that, right? Like for a while, like you don't go, oh man, on average I'm losing X, right? Like, and on average I'm making X, right? Like getting really clear on that. That's what helped me with that 200 rule on SPX. It was like, all right, as long as I, don't lose more than 200, and then when I'm making money it's at least 200 bucks, I have some sort of equation, right? Like, it's just the little things like that, because and I was guilty of this for a while, but for the longest time I was just constantly just trying to have a good day, trying to have a good day, and I've turned that off. It's not about having a good day anymore. It's about just it's what qualifies as a good day, right? Like, is a good day because you're green, or is a good day because you executed your process regardless how you felt. And that's where I've kind of been. I mean, Monday was a perfect example. Monday, I went for this short play right here and ended up getting stomped out of my trade right here. Did a really good job with execution on this trade. It just didn't have the legs quite yet to make the move. And one thing I pointed out on this trade is there wasn't really a retest of open print, right? We just kind of got strong selling off the rip. And we fell below the 50. We retested the cloud, and I was willing to put on risk here at around 58150, and ended up getting stomped out of my trade around 58185. And a really cool way I was able to do that was using just the previous green bar, right? And then just the way this candle blew the top off this candle, it gave me an early idea just to get out of the trade. And then what was it? 30 minutes later. Price falls back down below and comes up, tags the 50. I got a pretty good entry here on the 2 minute and caught a move down to the lows. And it was a really good day. Great execution. I think I made like $75, but my winner outweighed my loss. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's what this game's all about, right? Like, this is going to happen. I did a good job of not wanting more. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes,
yes. Oh my God, yes.
It killed, bro. That was one of my biggest issues, dude. And, you know, it's not easy to get over, but looking at your metrics definitely helps that for sure.
Like, I mean, I have an example from Wednesday. Oh, sorry, Monday. So I don't know what you were trading, but I traded SPY this day, and I'm trying to remember why I didn't take that initial short play. I think maybe it had something to do with pre-market low being there, not wanting to short into it. I can't quite remember.
Yeah.
But regardless, I didn't get in anything, and then we came back up 10.25, then rejected hard, and then we bounced back off that cloud, and then I saw a doji candle at the top, where I saw a lower high, consistent lower highs.
Yep.
And especially with all that selling that came in on the 10:30 5-minute candle,
I
was willing to take that short right there. And I actually entered short before the cloud was red.
Yeah.
Like before we actually got that valid cross.
Yeah.
I entered actually quite early on the 10:55 candle.
Yeah.
And I got out at the bottom of the 11 o'clock candle. And you can see we went back, we retested the cloud, and we continued to go down even further, right?
Yeah.
So technically, I could have held that trade and, made way more than I did.
Yeah.
But I was asking myself, okay, I analyzed this. I analyzed, the fact that we had lower highs, the fact that I was predicting weakness, and then the EMAs were going to cross and we were going to sink them.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. We touched the low of day, and I just got out of the whole position. I wasn't sitting there like,
I want more.
I'm going to hold half of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like let me see. Let me see what the percent win.
Yeah, at least 30. At least 30. Bam.
Oh, you're 34.
Yeah.
34, yeah.
And,
like, dude, if you can do that consistently, a 34% win is just crazy.
It's massive, bro. I mean, especially on a decent size. I mean, bro, like, I think that's big. I'm really glad you pointed that out, bro. Like, this is a 10-minute trade. No bells and whistles, very simple. You did a great job identifying weakness. What really sticks out to me with this is this red bar closes below the previous one off open print. That's what really helped me understand sellers were here. Like, in seeing that, you're like, okay, there's definitely something up here that I want to keep my eye on. Bam. And you identified proper risk, and you didn't hop right in, right? You let that consecutive lower high come in. This candle wipes out the doji. Bro, I got a perfect example of what you just mentioned in the next day. It's like our job is not to hit these home run grand slams. It's literally that right there. What you just broke down. You know what I mean?
High probable.
Yes.
High probable. You have a target.
Yes.
And you have an exact level of where you're going to get out and you're wrong. And then you just take your fucking profit when you get there. This month I did not give back profits.
Right.
And I mean, look, I probably missed out on some big moves.
Yeah.
But
you locked it in.
I mean, I'm up like crazy this month.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not complaining about anything.
No, exactly. And then like, I mean, so I mean, going into Tuesday, right? Beautiful setup right here. I was so proud of this trade. I'm gonna show the SPX screen, because it really shows my entry. But this is it on SPY here. Open print. This is the definition of the strategy right here. Open print, HPT cross, above the 50, come down, 2 minute. You get a beautiful entry on this, right? I'm gonna whip it out on SPX. But this trade was over 80% return. It was a phenomenal setup, and I literally want to show you what it was, dude. This was literally, I think it was like less than, it was definitely less than 20-minute trade. It was not anything wildly crazy, right? Check this out on SPX, bro. And what I was really proud about this trade, if you look at SPX, you could see we're coming right into end of day, right? So we come into end of day, we have open print right here, and we're ripping into end of day, and instead of being like, oh man, sellers must show up, right? I'm like, what if buyers actually have? I was like, you know what? What's your strategy tell you to do, Josh? I was like, well, based on the September and October's results, there's a 72% chance that when this happens, regardless of where we're at, you're gonna get at least $1 move. So the way I was looking at this is I just pulled this level right here from SPX. And I was like, okay, there's my upside target. Bam. And right here, if you could see it on the 2 minute, let me get rid of this little box. Look at this green candle, right? This green candle bounces right off open print. And once it wipes out the top of that, I'm in it. And I'm like, all right, I'm in it. Really easy, really tight stop below open print. But more importantly, below the previous candle, and then it came down. You could see it does not break the low of that candle, and then we just get this monster push right into my target. It was just like, poof, it was explosive. Like the volume that came in right here, I was just like, I was watching this just like, wow, like that was so clean. It was like, boom, and it just really like exemplifies the market imbalance, right? It's just like, when there's tons of liquidity here and there's a lot of liquidity here, price just goes whoop, right to it.
Right off the cloud, though. It was just a perfect 5-minute EMA cross, red to green. I will say, there's one thing about this trade. So I did not trade this day, and I'll tell you the reason. So I had a zone around previous day low. So previous day low had a little bit of consolidation. We bounced off that level a bunch of times on Monday. And then, in post-market, we held that level, and we opened up below it. And then I saw selling, all the way up to that retest of the cloud that you're talking about. Yeah. I saw selling up till 10:10, and, or whatever, a little rejection out of that level. So I thought we were going to break and retest off that level to the downside. Yeah. And I was almost getting ready to short it. And then that huge pop-up came. Bam. And then I was like, okay, I don't understand what's happening. I completely misread it. Instead of, suddenly
trying to figure it out.
This reversing architecture. I was just like, okay, I'm going to relax. I'm going to step back. It kind of caught me off guard. Yeah. And I kind of saved myself from a losing trade right there.
Well, I love what you just said, bro, because I think, oh, man, I literally think if I were to go through last year's journal, you would see a lot of what you're talking about right now, where when you have an analysis or you have an idea of what's going on, and the market does the opposite, and instead of trying to go, oh no, modify it, or like clearly you're not seeing something clearly, and you didn't force anything, bro. That's the fucking goal. Like, bro, if we
it felt amazing to just be like, you know what, I'm not.
Yeah, bro. Think about it. If we get rid of all that, if we were to walk away every time something like that happens, which happened to me on Friday, think of what the equity curve would look like. You know what I'm saying? Like think about how many how many dumb losses that stack up over time just because we can't see things clearly. Instead, just being super humble and being like, you know what? I can't see it clearly. I'm out. Um, I was really pumped too with this exit because if you look at this chart, we got super extended. Anytime there's a very high chance that when you engulf into your target and you're very far away from the moving average, that there's going to be a pullback. And I was in SPX calls on this, and I just did a great job at just booking it. And you know, it's so crazy, right? Because when you're looking at this chart, you're like, wow, look at that move. It's going to rip. And instead, I'm relying on the data in the journal going, nah, you know, actually, anytime you get more than 50 cents away from that moving average, it tends to pull back. Is it worth holding, right? And in this scenario, I was like, absolutely not. I'm just going to book that and reevaluate the day. And I was really proud with that. Once again, nothing to prove. And just locking in that equation. It was a really good day right there. It was a phenomenal trade.
I love the fact that you took profits there,
Yeah.
bro. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like if you find yourself in a situation where you're like, wow, this is abnormal. I've never made profits this quickly. Then you gotta take, you know,
something.
all of it, or at least something.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying like every time you see green, take a trade. But if you know like generally what the market gives you when you observe your edge, and it's just gone crazy past that, like especially in SPX. I mean, I'm sure with that volume, contracts skyrocketed.
Oh yeah.
Like you gotta realize that okay, this is abnormal price action, and just reward yourself. Nobody is gonna fault you for making 50% return on your investments. The market makes 10% a year, and you're making 35% in 5 minutes, and you're not satisfied with that? What the fuck is wrong with you? It's crazy. I'm talking to myself. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But you know you have a statistical edge. It's just made so much sense for me to take my profits much quicker. Yeah,
I love how you put that though, because that's true. SPX on average is like 8% a year. We're over here 84% ROI on this trade, and you don't take it. Like how ungrateful are you? You know what I'm saying? Like how much more could you really want? And there's that thin line, right? Like obviously if you're taking
it's not across the board. Right?
But like practice a little gratitude. And actually, Darren, I think it was a year ago. I'm not sure how long ago. But you're like, if you don't reward yourself, when like. If I were to hold this because I wanted more and then it ended up going against me and I ended up like having a shitty trade because of it, now I'm programming my mind to not take the setup, right? Because my outcome isn't what I wanted. In reality, it had nothing to do with the strategy. It had everything to do with me being extremely greedy, right? So
yes. You have to define exactly what it was that caused a good trade to go from the bad trade, and it's so easy to blame, the market makers and whoever else you make up in your mind. But at one point in time, most likely when you screenshotted your app, you were up 80% and you didn't come back. Money, you just didn't get out at the right time.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's and honestly, that right or a bad week. You know what I'm saying? Because you can now you're trying to make all the money back. In reality, all you had to do was just book your profits.
Yep. You're good.
Okay. All right, I'm back. Yeah, that was a phenomenal setup. That was the only trade I took all day. I'm so happy we're all on this less trade thing right now. It's definitely something I'm gonna adopt every week. I literally took 2 trades the day before this, 1 trade here, and then I took 2 setups the next day. This was actually, it's crazy, bro. This was my best day all year. And
Really?
and it was two extremely simple trades. I took literally, it was five, what was it, two, I took 2, 1, and 2. Five trades this week. Wednesday, right? I missed this morning rally. Price was rallying super quick. And it's not that I missed it. It's just I didn't. There was no RBI for me to get in. Right? Price was just ripping. There was no place for me to determine risk. So I just stayed patient. And I was like, if price comes back in the end of day and gives me what I want to see, I'll take it. And that's exactly what we got. I'll whip out the 2-minute. Price came right back into EOD right here. Hold on. Again, let me just fix this. There we go. Price comes into end of day, and then we get this red bar right here, and it gets ignored. Boop. So I get in the market long here for a 5-minute trade that rips right up to PDH. Another just base hit. Beautiful, precise move. Yeah, I loved this move. It was so good. I was so proud of this move. It was like, and just being patient, not fighting buyers. The 1 hour, the 1 hour price was above the 90 EMA, so there was no point in me selling yet. 50 was well respected. And then just that nice explosion move into previous day high right there was really nice.
And you waited till 11:20
Yeah.
to make
Yes.
a move.
Yeah, dude.
You know how many 5-minute candles you had to just watch print in front of your eyes and not do anything?
Well,
That's crazy.
Bro, it's so funny. I did the same thing Friday when we were live, and I ended up taking no trades, and I realized something. I had an epitome, and I really realized I'm extremely vulnerable when I miss setups. When I miss a setup or move, I get vulnerable, and I start searching. So hard. And I noticed that happening on this day and on Friday. And that's what kind of helped me. Like, when I missed this move, I really was like, oh, man, what's going to happen? I was, like, kind of frustrated about it. Not, like, super, but, like, I was like, man, I missed it. That's my setup. And I was like, dude, you couldn't identify risk. Who cares? Right? And then I was like, are you going to short this? And the 1 hour did not make sense. So I was like, all right, let's see what happens at EOD. Like it's such a superpower, and I owe it all to going through the data, right? Like, if you are struggling on the market right now, it's because you're not sifting through data. There's literally, I think it's impossible to sift through data and not do better, right? Like, every trader I know studies their data constantly. Like, if you do that and figure out where it is, like that's what helped me take that move. And then once we couldn't hold PDH, the 1 hour started to make way more sense. I got back in the market short on this candle right here. This 11, hold on, this thing's in the way here. Let me move it. This candle right here, 1252. I got back in the market short, targeting end of day. Like I used to talk myself out of these trades because end of day is too quote unquote close. And then I said, dude, well, what's the 1 hour telling you? Like, does it make sense to, just target EOD? Maybe something else will come, right? And like, the 1 hour was telling me a lot because the 9 was way far down and price was way far up. There's about $1 move there. So then I was like, all right, I'm willing to get in this. We were rejecting this large supply zone up top. And I think I used the 50 EMA as well. Oh, yeah, I did. On the 5-minute here, you'll see we close below the 50. We get the moving average cross. And then this green bar gets ignored. I get short on this candle. And my stops above the candle I got in. And then caught a righteous move down to open print for 104%. It was a phenomenal trade. It was disgusting.
What a play, man! I love that.
Yeah, and it just so happened that and the biggest thing I want to point out is like this was profitably, this was my strongest day all year. It's like almost $900. And the thing is it was a product of two very simple trades. Like, bro, it was nothing crazy. It was like 350 on this trade, around 30%, And then this trade was over $500, and it was very simple. A $500 SPX contract turned to almost $1,000. Like, very simple. Just very simple play, but I owe it all to what you just said, Darren. Being able to watch the 5-minute candles, not pouncing, not forcing, and just waiting for what works, bro. Like,
yeah. And look, on both of those examples, the market continued to go up after you sold.
Yes.
Now, how much regret do you have taking profits where you did?
0. Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
0. You can't have any regret because
No.
you had no idea.
Yeah.
And the market will never just go in your direction.
No.
Both those examples, you could have made more money.
Yeah.
But that's not one concern of yours.
Yeah.
It wasn't when you took profits. It wasn't when you journaled it.
Yeah.
It was never.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. The biggest thing I love is, like, I got extended from my exit tool, which is the 9, right? I got super extended from the 9 DEMA, sold. Got super extended from the 9 DEMA, sold. That's it.
Nice.
Like, that right there is my tool, and that's what I use it for. Like, if I'm not using it for that, what the hell are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And, like,
exactly. What's it there for?
yeah, and like I said, super simple. I was so proud of this day. I was like, this day really helped me realize, and because I'm going through everything, I was like, all right, Josh, profitably, this was your best day. Like, what about this day can you repeat? And I was like, well, I'm not going to chase anything. I'm not going to, I'm only going to trade my criteria. Thursday, I didn't trade at all. I was spending the day with my daughter. It was beautiful criteria, though, dude. This morning play, I was so proud to see the team catching this as well. I mean, this was open print, break, retest, green bar, ignored. This was so nice. Like, anybody that caught this, I'm so happy. Like, I'm so proud of. And this is the thing, Devo, and I bet you agree. Like, I made no money off this setup, but I wasn't frustrated whatsoever because I know it's going to repeat. The strategy's so repeatable. I no longer feel frustrated when I miss it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I hear people talk about that, these setups are just like buses. Like, they come,
Yes.
they come and you can count on them. You can count on them showing up.
Yeah.
Day after day, and, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to trade this day. I was, you probably saw I was managing that, the long-term. Well, I traded that.
Oh, yeah, the short play, bro.
But, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, long-term swing play.
I like, new level unlocked, bro. I was so pumped. Like, I was so fucking pumped. Like, out of nowhere, Darren, all casually, he's like, on Wednesday, he texted me. He's like, yo, yeah, bro, by the way, I opened up a pretty large short play on SPY. I'm like, oh, really? And I'm looking at the chart, and I'm like, oh, man, this dude's going to kill it. Like, talk about your entry on that, bro. Like, what was going through your mind?
Well, you can see that green line that you have the bullish target, right? That goes all the way back.
Yeah.
So we're having consistent lower highs after that.
Yeah.
And not only, and every single time we come back into that, we keep on getting aggressive selling. Keep on getting aggressive selling. And, it felt like I just had an easy stop loss, and I also saw this upward channel forming.
Yeah.
And I decided to put on the play.
Yeah.
I
nice.
had a stop loss on the chart. And
yeah, I seen that, bro. The chart you put, it was so beautiful, bro. It told such a story because, like, you had a valid stop. I think you were risking less than like 15% on that play. It was your stop was tight.
I was risking about $125. I bought it for $850.
Yeah, that's like 15. Yeah, it's like 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
Very cheap.
Yeah.
And caught a massive gap down, bro. Like, unbelievable. Bro.
I mean, you can't fucking like predict how fast the market's gonna move. The expiration date was November 15th.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Right? Like,
2 weeks. Yeah.
Like, in my mind, I was like, okay, I'll hold this for 2 weeks. I'm just gonna have to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go to bed with an open position. I'm gonna have to wake up with an open position. Totally new thing for me.
Yeah.
And then literally 2 days later, I'm selling the thing because I'm up 76%. It's like, dude, you don't have to hold the thing
No.
for 2 weeks.
No.
How often do you make a 76% return?
Yeah.
Not very often.
While sleeping.
Good. Take it.
Yeah. While sleeping.
While sleeping.
Fucking stud, bro. I was so